Hi, Dan Miller, editor at Macworld here, and I wanted to talk to you today about Hazel, which is a really useful utility that we recently reviewed. It's a great tool if you've got a lot of files and folders to manage and keep organized. It installs itself as a preference pane here in System Preferences. If you open it up, what you'll see is you got two windows. One on the left-hand side is for folders, so you can add and remove folders from that list. Then on the right, you've got a list of rules that are going to be applied to each one of those folders. So for example, in my Downloads folder, I have a rule called Add MP3s to iTunes. Down here is where you add and delete rules, and there's the Edit button. If you open it up, you'll see up here in the top, that's where you define conditions. So it's basically a filter. You can define conditions based on pretty much any attribute that OS X keeps track of. And then you've got, in the middle, you've got your usual operators like is, contains, matches, that kind of thing. And then you finally have the criteria. So in this case, what we're doing is we're looking for all files with the extension MP3. Then down below, you've got a section where you can define actions that will be taken on those files that match your criteria. So for example, in this case, we're going to take any MP3 file and import it into iTunes. And then you can stack conditions on top of each other. You can stack actions on top of each other. So you can create some pretty complex actions here. You can also create folders specifically to use with Hazel. So I've got one called Archive Issue Folder, and what that does is it takes anything that's a folder, and then it will archive it, put it into a zip file, and move that zip file to my Print Old folder. So what I can do is drag a folder for a magazine issue onto this folder, and it will automatically be archived. So while Hazel is pretty straightforward, pretty simple to use, it does have some tools that are particularly powerful. For example, if you're renaming files or adding comments, or even if you're looking for files, you can create these patterns based on file attributes using tokens, these blue lozenges here. What you can do is you drag them up into the text field, and you can rearrange them as you wish. You can, again, use almost any attribute that OS X keeps track of. You can also use Apple scripts and shell scripts to find files, and you can use Apple scripts, automated workflows, or shell scripts when you're creating actions. So there is a lot of power here in Hazel. If you've got a lot of folders, a lot of files that you need to manage, then I suggest checking out Hazel. This is Dan Miller, editor of Macworld. Thanks a lot.